Perfect. Docs Daily, what's up? What's happening? It is Thursday, February 26th. 26th, yes. February 26th. We are live, full effect, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Saturday is 11 a.m. Eastern. Me and Griffith do a thing. But check us out Saturday or Monday through Friday here at Docs Daily every day. If you're brand new to the show, check out the free $60 account. The link's in the description of the video. You click the link, takes you right over to the website. You can use that $60 on one of these guys' premium handicapping picks over there. Split it up between the two. Use it on just one. Day pass, week pass, season pass. You do you, Pikachu. Link is in the description of the video. Robert Ferringo's joining us. Craig Trapp's here. You got two of the best college basketball guys. Listen, when if they're like for my old head people out there, when E.F. Hutton spoke, you listened. When these two knuckleheads talk about college basketball, I tend to listen, despite how they're their biggest critics. So don't listen to a damn thing they say about themselves. But we're going to talk a lot of small market college basketball, which I think is where these two make their money at anyway, is in these smaller market schools. And I'm going to talk low NHL because it's back. First and foremost, though, R.I.P. to Rory, mascot of the Detroit Lions. Like, he was mascot for like 40 some, almost my whole life. This guy's been the mascot. His name was Rory. He passed away today suddenly. So I almost wore my Lions jersey, but my Red Wings got a big game on. State has a big game. College basketball.
Lenny, is this a real person? Is this a real person, or is it?
Well, it's the guy that plays.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it was a lie.
The real person died. Okay. That dresses in the mascot. He's been the mascot for a bajillion years. And so Detroit Lions fans, I hate to say it, but sometimes tragedies bring out the best in a team. So Super Bowl for Rory is what I'm saying at the end of the day.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Robert Ferringo's so done with my ass. Robert, what do you got going on tonight? Tell me how Michigan State's going to win this game.
I just don't know how I follow that. That's all. That's all that is. Michigan State's not going to win. Not going to win this game. That's
all right. Come on.
Sorry. I'm just listen. Even if we put out the facts of fandom, your Michigan State fandom, I've liked this Purdue team a little more. They haven't played as well as I thought this year. Let's just put it that way. Even if we throw that out and we just look at the line, it opened at 5.5. You're getting majority action on Michigan State, and all this number has gone up. Okay, that right there is your red flag. These two teams on a neutral site, if they play in the Big Ten tournament, it's going to be a great game. Either team could win. It'll be a 3 or 5 point game. But we have seen Purdue go bonkers on people in their own gym. And that's what I think is going to happen tonight. It's not that they're so much better than Michigan State. It's not. Michigan State has been better than them throughout the duration of Big Ten play.
Right.
Okay. But if I'm just reading a line and I'm just looking at the situation, I think Purdue is going to play one of their best games tonight. And I think that they could hammer them. I mean, we saw it last night. Real quick, Craig, before you can jump in here. We saw it last night with Connecticut and St. John's, right? St. John's beat them the first time. These are two top 10 teams. These are two Final Four contenders. St. John's beat them twice last year, including in the Big East tournament. It was just Connecticut's night. Like, everything about that number, they had won 13 straight games. But if you're tracking that number, it just keeps going Connecticut's way. It's like, okay, this could be bad for St. John's, and it was. Not buying it, Greg?
No,
you give me Tom Izzo and you give me Tom Izzo more than 5 or 6 points. It's hard to pass up because, like, he's worth. Now Matt Painter's done a very good job. It's not like he's a bad coach or anything. It's just Tom Izzo is just the master. Like, I don't think his team is that good this year. I think he is willing them. They're a nice team, but they have they almost beat Duke. Like, even this year, I mean, they were right with Duke until the very end. They have played pretty much. They've had a couple of bad games. I mean, even Michigan's had a couple of bad games this year. It's just like I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. Now, what a reason why I didn't play it, Purdue's win against Indiana. That was just like they played unbelievable. Indiana played bad, but like that's to beat a rival like that. I was like, damn, that's impressive. Are they going to get on a roll here? I will say they have a lot of experience here at Purdue. They're coming to the end of their careers. I remember when I was a senior in college and it was like a game or two out from senior night. It's like it means a lot, because all these guys are playing at the next level. There's a lot of these guys that aren't though. Or they're not sure they're going to. So I do think we're going to get the best. It's going to be a good game. It's the only ranked game of the night too, by the way. I
got a small homer play on the Spartans first half plus 4.5. I thought that was like, I know. I just think if that's the only way I'm in this, I got one unit split in 2 plays. First half plus 4.5 and full game plus I think 7.5.
Michigan State has not been good on the road either.
No, terrible. Absolutely.
They've been really bad on the road. They lost at Minnesota. They got demolished at Wisconsin. That was never a game. They were getting demolished at Rutgers. I still don't know how they won that game in overtime, down double digits. So like we have seen them play poorly on the road, and that's been kind of masked by the fact that they've had a ton of home games. And a lot of their biggest games have come at home. So, again, if I'm throwing everything aside and just reading the number, everything about the number, okay, with majority action on Michigan State, with their high ranking, with their high regard, that number went from 5.5 to 8. Now 5.5 to 6.
Yeah.
It's up to 8. Like
I thought someone was injured. I had to go start looking for injuries because, usually you see this much movement, something has happened. Like the plane got delayed or something. It's just lots of money is coming in.
It's the big bettors because again, the majority of tickets are on party, so it's the big money is coming in on Purdue. I don't know why I cut it from my card. This was the last one. I'm trying to tighten things up a little bit, but this was the last one that I cut from my card was Purdue. I will say this: my college basketball in February has been so bad; it was unbelievable in January. So if I like Michigan State, you probably should be on Purdue.
Listen, like I said, it's a homer play. It's pizza money.
I actually like this play that Scott gave out a little more. That Denver play. That's actually my 3-unit play today. I only have one play in college hoops. That's my 3-unit play.
Denver minus 4.5 and the over 155.5.
I think I got it.
Welcome back, Robert. Too. Yeah, forgot. Robert was off last week, vacationing, jet setting across the world as he does. Man of mystery.
Don't go to the Dominican Republic. If you're listening out there, don't ever
do it. It's a trap.
If you're thinking about doing it, don't do it.
That's where I was going to go next year. I've never been there. We went to just last week. I was at Turks, and the year before I was in St. Thomas and St. John's. And I was like, I got to go somewhere else. I've been to Jamaica before.
I've never been nowhere like.
I would like to go to
I've been to Windsor,
maybe
folks.
Next year.
I've been to Windsor, Ontario. That's it.
Aruba, sure. All those other places you're saying yes. Don't go to the Dominican Republic.
All right, let's talk to me about Denver. Oral Roberts, Craig. What would you?
This is more of a play against Oral Roberts. They really have not been very good this year, and I think Denver's pretty good. Now, I will say the difference between you play these smaller conference teams is road and away. It's like it's almost every conference is pretty big. I do even see some 4s out there. I got it in at 4.5. I like Denver though. They're 5th in Summit League action. They've been pretty good lately. 4-1 if I think off the top of my head, so I don't have the numbers. 4-1 both straight up and against the spread. So I think they go on the road and hammer Oral Roberts that has lost 8 of their last 10 games. I mean, they have not been good.
Yeah,
coming off that big win over South Dakota, though.
Yeah. I mean,
they got all that. They got all that momentum.
How much? I mean, do you even? I mean, what do you even do with that? You can't put too much weight into that. Normally, I would.
No.
I don't.
Well, you're beating. If you're battled at the bottom of it, like you get wins in these conferences, especially this year. like a lot of these conferences are close and some of them are not. It was just very top heavy league. I think this is one of those leagues. So I think the bottom 5 or 6 teams in this league is like, jumble them up and, throw the dice and you never know what's going to happen. I think that's Oral Roberts is one of those teams. They just haven't been great this year. So
how about this one? I didn't realize this because I rode this team a little bit and into the toilet. Is Northeastern going to cover in the CAA? 0-9 straight up, 0-9 against the spread. Do you know how hard it is in college basketball to lose 9 straight games against the spread? I mean, the books will throw an extra 6 points on a number just one of these small just because what's the handle here on this one? So is Northeastern going to finally cover the spread? I'm kind of curious about them, and just in general, there's some CAA action that's got my attention as they're wrapping up. But I could not believe that. I did not realize, because I left them for dead after the Hofstra game. All these guys have done is get blown out. Like, why isn't this number 19 and a half?
I mean, they're 9-17 on the year against the spread. One of the worst teams in all of basketball against the spread. And here's the interesting number as well. They're 17-9 to the overs, which means they play no defense. That's crazy. Usually those things balance out at this time of the year.
Yeah, well, a big part of it is like, and I don't understand this is why I finally just dumped him. This is obviously the end of the Bill Cohn era and Northeastern, but this guy has completely changed his approach. Like Northeastern for years, and he has taken teams to the NCAA tournament. Like he has had good competitive top tier CAA teams there, but like they normally played a very deliberate pace, one of the slower paces in that conference. Now, like nationally, I want to say they're like top 75 in pace. They're going from like 2 years ago. I think they were like 290 in pace nationally. Okay. Now they're like 70 something or 74 or something like that. Like he has completely changed the way he has played, and it has not worked even a little bit. That's part of the reason why I wrote him for as long, because I thought when they got in the conference play, he'd revert to type, tighten up, play closer, low scoring games in the 50s and low 60s. So they're getting double digits. Okay. Lots of value. No, they're trying to run and gun, and they're getting blown out in all these games. Like they're not losing close games. They're not coming close to the number. They're getting demolished every game. It just doesn't make sense. And you said it, they're 9-17 this season against the spread. They've lost 9 straight, which means at one point they were, above 500 against the number. Like the bottom has completely fallen off.
Yeah. I think they've gotten beat early by a lot too. So it's like, it kind of gets you out of any game plan. You're down 15 at half. It's like, well, we can't play deliberate. There won't be enough possessions to win games.
Almost by 30 points.
William and Mary's not world beater. I think off the top of my head, I think William Mary's like 1-3 against the spread, 1-3 the last 4 games. So
their last win was against Northeastern in Northeastern, and they beat them 94-67. So I think they're like, we can
beat them by 27 on the road.
Yeah, right.
Okay, my point still stands. They're only 11.5 point favorites at home. Why isn't this number 18.5? I don't understand that. So I guess you got to take William and Mary tonight.
Bill and Mary to the window. I like Wichita State tonight.
Well, how'd that song go? To the window, to the wall.
To the wall. To the sweat worm down by.
Yeah, I know.
Wichita State and the Shockers. I'm all about them over Memphis and the Tigers. I'm just going to pivot, Craig.
I think the question is, does Penny Hardaway get fired?
No.
Why not?
I thought he's done a good job.
They won 29 games last year. They went to
I know, but
it's
kind of like Wes Miller when you're crying. Now Wes Miller has worked. They're on this run right now, 4-1 or whatever, since he cried in the post game and all that. But it has not. Penny's crying and not winning. If you're not winning after the cry, I don't know.
Camera.
They might not even need to fire him. Penny might just be like, you know what? I've had enough of this. Because I actually think he would be a pretty good assistant.
Maybe it's just one season. If he comes out next year,
it is.
It's a bad season like this year. Then
remember Jerry Stackhouse at Vanderbilt? I kind of feel like that, where it's like, dude, he'd be a great assistant at like the Warriors or somewhere where it's, you go being a good assistant in the NBA, pretty cushy job. it's, he's in the wrong conference. When they didn't make the Big 12, they were the last team. The FedEx money came through, and they were supposedly going to be the team that got in instead of UCF maybe. They didn't get in. It really has affected, the recruiting because you're not playing the top-tier teams unless you're playing outside of the conference.
I don't know. I mean, they, like I said, they almost won 30 games last year, and they were a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. PJ Haggerty left. You want to talk about the difference between last year's team and this year's team? PJ Haggerty was the best player in the AAC. They lost him. They're not as good. I don't think Penny Hardaway is a very good coach. We've talked about
not a great.
He's great at accumulating talent, right? But he's not a good in-game coach. He's had one bad year. He's a Memphis guy. He just looks broken.
That's true. He is a Memphis guy. So, I mean, that's definitely got to play into it. Even money, Wichita State, and a team in Memphis that just can't.
They look like they've quit.
They can't hit water falling out of a boat right now.
I hate the Q word, but they do look like they've quit.
I do, and I don't like Wichita State on the road. I'm not going to run. I don't love that, but at the same sense, I don't think Memphis is. I think Memphis kind of just phoning it in for the remainder. I mean, and
I don't.
It is
I don't
what it
hate it
is.
with Wichita State. You guys know that I've been big on them this year.
Mhm.
I've used them early and often. I don't think Memphis is as where's the bottom? I think they're actually going to close pretty strong to this because as I look, they've lost 4 straight games, but they lost at North Texas, at Utah State, at South Florida. None of those are bad losses.
Right.
They lose at home to UAB. That's not great. Look at their other conference losses at Florida Atlantic, at Tulsa, at Wichita State. Are you picking up on the theme here? They're not very good on the road, obviously. And they have played a very challenging AAC schedule. They haven't played a lot of the bottom feeders this year. I think a big part of that was they're hoping that Memphis and expecting that Memphis was going to be good this year so they could put them on TV a lot. They don't want to put them on TV when they're playing Rice and Eastern Carolina and UTSA. So they've had that tougher schedule, and it just hasn't worked out for them.
Well, they're in the middle. They're 7-7 in conference play. This is Wichita State team that's, if they win tonight, they'll be tied for second, I believe, right? I think they're they're 10-5. Tulsa's one game ahead, so they'll be
11-5. Yeah.
So
this is a good team. Wichita's a good team.
Be clear. I don't think South Florida, even though they're 20-8, is making the tournament unless they win their conference tournament. So this is a one bid league. So if you're, every spot you can go up matters. If you get the second spot, I think it's going to matter. I think Wichita State wins tonight pretty easily, to be honest.
There's no way South Florida wins this tournament either. This is going to be another one of those conferences where the 5th seed wins it. There's just too many teams.
Right.
There's too many teams in it that can upset. Florida Atlantic and North Texas, they can knock out either one of the top 2
any given time.
I agree with that. Right. There's no talent disparity. Scott, you're asking about St. Thomas over North Dakota State. I like it. Anytime that the number 1 team in a conference is an underdog on the road, I like that. That's kind of why I like Montana State over Portland State out in the Big Sky.
Montana.
Similar situation. Portland State's got that one wrapped up, got that regular season title wrapped up, but they're underdogs on the road here. North Dakota State, they're 13-1 in conference, something like that. I know they've lost in conference. I can't remember how many they've lost, but the fact that they're underdogs on the road, I'd play that angle.
I can't stand Montana State. They both burned me last week, and so they need a timeout. I need a timeout. We stayed away from. We really stayed away from the Big Sky today in general.
The one game I want to know about, Robert, I want to get your opinion. Liberty at Kennesaw State. Liberty's been the best team in that conference all year. It's 2.5 points. I like Liberty, but it's dude, I was thinking this line should be 3.5, 4.
I mean, getting them off a loss is nice. They don't lose a lot, right? So, coming off a loss, that was and not just a loss, but Western Kentucky smoked them. Didn't see that coming. So basically with a line that small, is Liberty going to lose back-to-back games? I don't think that they will. So that was one I looked at, and I don't know why I tossed it, but like I said, I'm trying to cut down the number.
The number worried me. If the number would have been 4 or 4.5, I would have played Liberty. But I'm like, okay, who's out? I'm like doing all the digging. I'm like, I don't see anything.
Too good to be true, kind of.
Kennesaw State is not a bad team. I give you that. It's not like they're terrible, but I mean, they're 8-8 in conference play. They're in the middle. There's a lot of middle teams in Conference USA. You've got Western Carolina, Kennesaw, Louisiana Tech, Jackson State, Middle Tennessee, and Missouri State, all between 9-7 and 7-9.
And Jacksonville State could win that damn division. Or that conference. I'm just saying right now, I like that team. I like the way they play. I've won money on them all year. I mean, do I think they can really run with Liberty at the end of the day? Probably not, but
I would love to see Liberty get in. I would, because
I would love
I hate what happens in college basketball when you're the best team in your league all year long, but it's a one-bid league. You know, you're the hunted in the tournament, and you lose your tournament. Now you don't get in.
Right.
And a team that's,
Western Kentucky gets in.
Gets in, and then they get smoked in the tournament. When I think Liberty could give some teams, like Absolutely. They might not win, but I want to see the best teams get in. Now I know the exciting part of March Madness is the conference tournaments and that one and done, type of you lose, you're out kind of thing. Right. But I hope Liberty. I said if Liberty gets an NIT, Liberty could win the NIT because the big schools all opt out of the NIT now. It's like we don't get into a tournament, we're not playing. And Liberty will obviously play. So
Liberty, yeah. Like the thing about to your point, like Liberty has been walking that high wire all year. Like they've won a ton of close games in conference play. If you haven't seen them play, like their best player is Zach Cleveland. That guy's a dickhead. But he's the type of guy who, I love guys like that on my team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he'll talk
to him on your team.
He'll talk to the other team's fans. He's just constantly running his mouth, right? Like he'll be a nice villain if he makes the NCAA tournament. But the other thing too is that not only have they played a lot of close games, and that's why this number is a little close. I like Liberty, but I think the books are still the books have overvalued Kennesaw State a lot this year. Like my numbers with Kennesaw State and the books numbers with Kennesaw State, there's been a pretty wide disparity. I think a lot of that goes back to what we've seen from Kennesaw State the last few years. A few years ago when Abdur Rahim took them to the tournament, they went 22-8 against the spread that year. Came back the next year and were 9-19. Last year they were money against the spread. I don't know exactly what their mark was, but they were a very, very good team against the spread. So it's just kind of that overcorrection that you see a lot with these small major, mid-major teams. Like if somebody covers a spread 75% of the time, God, Tulsa this year, and there's another team. Oh, Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio, we've talked about. They're not just winning the game. They cover the spread over 70% of their other games this year. Next year, they're very easily, I can predict that they're going to be under 500 for the season against the spread, just because the numbers are going to swing so wildly for them.
I saw something. If you bet $100 every game straight up on Miami of Ohio, it's you'd be 400,000 this year. $100 straight up, because a lot of games early on there was a lot of small. No one expected this. This wasn't these teams that, last year they were the best team in the conference.
Scott expected Scott in the chat. Scott from Miami.
Yeah.
He knew. He's the guy that knew. He knew.
And to be honest, we've seen some games lately where they're 2-3 point favorites on the road. I think it was at UMass, right? I think it was the last one where low. So it's because the MAC on the road, I'm in the middle of MAC country. It's just it's so hard. So to do what they've done is really crazy. And I'm telling you, it's on a Friday night. I think it's next Friday night they play Ohio. So if they can, I think they have one more game and then they play Miami of Ohio. The Battle of the Bricks is for real. Their whole season is to beat Miami. If they win that game, they would have earned this undefeated
I'll tell you
season.
right now, Western Michigan's a live dog tomorrow. Western Michigan, I've been saying this for a week.
Because that'd be a big
Western
look ahead
Michigan
spot.
or Eastern Michigan, I think, gives them their first loss.
No, Eastern Michigan, they just lost.
They just beat. Yeah, so that's what I've been saying. So they lost to Eastern, I think Western. I mean, I know. I
still don't think they win the tournament. I still think
Akron. I think Akron beats them.
I don't think they will either, because of exactly what you just talked about, Craig. I think if they go to Ohio, win that game, and clinch the undefeated regular season, that's just such a peak moment from there that it's kind of begging for a letdown. However, it is my opinion, if they go undefeated in the regular season and then lose in their conference tournament, I 1,000% think they deserve to make the NCAA.
Oh, they're going to be in. I heard if they lose 2 games, they would be in the play-in game, and the play-in game was going to be
great.
Lenardi against Ohio State was the other play-in team. They're both 30 minutes basically from Dayton Arena. Would be an absolute.
Oh, I could imagine.
I hope they don't do that because they deserve to be in the field, not have to.
Not if they lose. Not if they lose.
Not if they lose 2 games.
Twice, but that twice was before the Eastern Michigan game, so they still had some games left.
But still, like if they lose to Ohio and then don't win the MAC tournament, I think the play-in game is the best that they deserve.
Because they played nobody out of conference.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. I love mid-majors. I'm Mr. Mid-Major. Like, I'm with you 100%, but like we got to be realistic about this. I mean, I'd rather
I guess it matters how far they go in the MAC tournament too.
Yeah.
Like if they go to the finals and lose against
maybe
a very
Toledo's
good
the spot they slip because they'll be looking towards that Ohio Bobcat game at the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, to me, it's been I hope every year we have one of these type of teams where it's like, kind of come from nowhere because it gives the teams that don't get the NIL, the payday NIL guys like a chance.
It's senior night tomorrow in Oxford that Jim will be rocking. Miami covers the spread.
I thought about scalping tickets. It's sold out, I think, because I'm in Cincinnati, and my daughter is one of her finalists. She's either going to go to Dayton there, Vanderbilt, or Duke. And
he is a little off there, though. They're at Western Michigan.
Yeah, you're off. That's the next game.
Tomorrow night. They'll be double-digit favorites at Western Michigan. They play Toledo. They get – what's that?
You think they're going to be 10-point favorite?
At least.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least. They'll be
play Toledo. That's the game he's talking about.
They will open at 10.5, and that number is only going one way. Western Michigan's a little banged up. They might be down 2 starters.
Good to be banged up.
I agree. They're not very good. Exactly. They're not very good to begin with.
Maybe they improve.
Maybe you got to give a guy a shot.
Full squad at home, double-digit underdog. Western Michigan's not going anywhere. Like, this is the Super Bowl for them, right? Like, this is the game. Like, in that situation, give me the points. But like them down 2 starters, I don't know.
Last game I want to talk about for tonight, UT Arlington, Cal Baptist. I'm telling you right now, I'm on UT. It's the last game of the night, 10 o'clock Eastern. UT Arlington, I got crazy stats for you guys. 12-0 at home is Cal Baptist. 12-0, and they're at home tonight. 4-8 against the spread in that time. Give me UT Arlington plus all the points. How about that?
We don't call him Degenerate Lenny for nothing.
Hey, man.
Last game on the board.
Robert, you missed it. Yesterday, Raphael said, there's 8 games on Lenny for NHL. Day 1 after a 3-week break. How many plays do you have? I go 7. And he goes,
How'd you do?
I went 5-2. I didn't get. I was correct on everything except the 2 draws I had. The plays I gave out in the video after a bad the other day. Yeah, I went 7-1 in a video I gave out yesterday. So, but I told everybody I was in a bounce back spot. Somebody complained I missed a Sunday because I don't do Sunday videos because I have a wife and kids and a family. And my wife will, if you know my wife, she will kill me. Somebody complained a couple of servers that I didn't do a video on Sunday, so I came back with vengeance. I was mad. I was in a bounce back situation, revenge spot. I'm just telling you, I was angry. Came out firing.
You had the Vegas game?
I had Vegas money line. I had the under.
They were without
Seattle,
5
Dallas,
of their top 6 players.
And I had Avalanche. I had the Avalanche at minus 120. I'm like, how do you not take the Avs?
I know. That's the one. That's the one that I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit that I just should have thrown it out there. But I told myself, I was like, we're not playing any NHL games Wednesday, Thursday, maybe not even play any Friday, just to see how everybody comes back. It's a long season. But that was the one, same thing that I looked at. I was like, why the hell are they only minus 120? And I just kind of let that talk me out of it.
Vegas and the over. Okay, I hit that.
I
had the draw on that game, but I didn't get the draw. I had the Dallas Stars under 5.5. It landed on 5. I had the draw on that. I didn't get that. I had the Jets, I had the Avalanche, and the Vegas Golden Knights.
I think all the games early hit under, and the 2 late games hit over. That was so. I kind of think tonight, all the teams that haven't played, I kind of think you carte blanche play them all under tonight. I just think
you got to tread lightly through the weekend, folks. Tread lightly through the weekend. I mean, I'm
Parlay
just saying.
them.
But at some
Parlay them,
teams,
Lenny.
Make sure
No.
whatever you do.
no, some teams are just who they are. Like Vancouver just is who they are. Like the amount of rest.
New Jersey just sucks. That's
Right.
Wait,
There's
wait,
no
wait.
amount of rest. I mean, Jack Hughes is still drunk. He played an NHL game last night. I guarantee you that dude's still drunk. I would be. I'm just saying. He's Captain America in real life.
How about this NBA tonight? Big card in the
Yes.
NBA tonight. I was shocked it was this big tonight. I think there's some good games. Like Miami, I think's live underdog tonight. I do like Houston to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Orlando won as an underdog tonight. Both of those are like 3-point spreads. And then I'm interested to see what Portland does. Portland's within a couple games of 500. Is Portland, are they going to try to tank? Like that's a team. I don't know why you would, because they have so many young players already. But these teams that are like borderline, like playoff teams in the West, it's like, dude, you're not winning the West if you're the
But it's against the Bulls.
Well,
the Bulls are trying to tank too.
I mean,
but
you got Josh Giddey back, all that, but I don't know if I trust Chicago to do anything.
they've lost 10 in a row,
I didn't
right?
bet
Or
this.
11 in a row.
yeah, they've
11
lost.
in a row.
They've lost 10 in a row, and their roster is a mess. Like
They traded
yeah,
everyone.
no, Portland's ninth place right now. They're not taking anything. Like yeah, no, you're not going to win the West, but for a team like Portland, like just making the playoffs is still.
This is the best draft we've seen in probably a decade, though.
Mhm.
So it's like if you're ninth or 10th, you're not that far out of being in a. Look what happened to Dallas last year. No one thought they had any chance. They ended up with the number 1 pick in Cooper Flag. It happens all the time. And so I don't know. They've been very injured. They're starting to get healthy. So I do think they can make a little push if they want to. I said the other day, trying to figure out who's tanking and who's not is the half the handicapping right now. Is because man, this is bad.
I kind of feel but don't you feel like it's pretty clear at this point who is and who isn't? Like there aren't many teams that like though honestly the Bulls, but they lost 10 in a row. So that kind of and they traded away everyone like
since the trade deadline.
I would say they're the only team that I would question about it. But like if you look at the East, everyone from the Bucks forward are playing. Washington, Brooklyn, and Indiana. Tank away, okay?
Yeah.
The Bulls are on that cut line. And in the Western Conference, it's basically everything from the Grizzlies down. Like the playoff, the 10 teams that are going to be in the playoffs in the West are pretty much set. And then it's just Memphis, Dallas, Utah, New Orleans, and Sacramento. But actually take New Orleans out of there. Like they're not really they're not tanking, they just suck, right? Like they have no incentive to tank because Atlanta gets their pick. So they'll keep playing.
Murray's back now too, right? Like they're finally got like the full roster back. I think New Orleans is like, let's see what happens for the next 10 to 12 games. If we play really good, because of the bottom of the West is so tight, they could freaking find themselves like somewhat in the playoff talk.
We're 11 games back.
They're 11 games back. No,
and then you also find out if what you should do in the offseason. Because I think this is a crossroads for Zion. Like, do they at the end of the year just fire Sarah Zion and like, okay, we need a new,
yes.
like that's what you have to find out.
Or Zion's not that good.
Yeah.
I won't say he's not that good. He's overrated.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player, but he's
trade
not
him for whatever you can get
coming out of college.
Like if you put him on a good team, though.
Well, I mean, dude,
what's he gonna do? Get hurt? Like,
Well,
I mean, Craig, we could put your big ass on a good
no, but
team.
think about this.
Ring. I'm just
We've
saying.
seen it in the NFL this year. Seattle, like, guy that was left for dead, just basically cut from his team and then wins a Super Bowl and the MVP. Zion is way more talented when he came out of Duke than probably a lot of players we've seen in the last decade. Now, I agree. He's been very injured. He kind of reminds me of Julius Randle, like when he came out of Kentucky. He didn't really live up to expectation. Then all of a sudden, the last 4 or 5 years, Julius Randle's been good. He could be Julius Randle would be a good, that'd be an upgrade for him. I hate to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Zion Williams cannot be a contributing player on a very good team. I'm not even saying that he couldn't be an all-star. I think he could be a double-digit scorer, an 18.9 rebound a game, number 3 option on a very good team. Go throw him in the East somewhere, and he could be a very, very good player on a very, very good team. I'm not saying that, but the idea that he's going to be an all-NBA player, that he's going to lead a team to the final. Like, none of that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what the level of expectations were. The expectations weren't for him to come in and have a career where he makes 7 all-star games, right? Like, it was for him to be a franchise cornerstone. He's not going to be that guy. Like, he's going to be what, like 26, 27 next year? So he's starting to transition out of that athletic prime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, and that was this whole thing, was mutant athleticism, right? So now we're transitioning to, okay, what type of basketball player are you for that 27 to 31 type of thing? And I think he's very good. Like,
he's not a great jump shooter, and as you lose the athleticism, you got to improve your jump shot. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the league because, his game is driving to the hole, getting fouled, and he's not the greatest rebounder either. Like, he's not a great rebounder for as athletic he is. I thought maybe he would end up being like a 12, 14 rebound guy. He's like about 8.5, which, power forward in the league nowadays, you kind of need him to get a little more than that.
Well, and you got to cut bait with him because it's got to be too painful to have him around. You know what I mean? Like the expectations versus the reality. Like, do you want him around for 12 years? Like, every time you see him take the court, all New Orleans fans are going to be thinking about is what could have been, what should have been, this and that. Like, no, trade him.
I got to trade Ja Morant straight up for Zion. They both need new things, and you basically can't trade either one of them because they make way too much money. You're not getting back anything. They tried to trade Ja Morant for anything, and nobody wanted. He gets $99 million the next 2 years. $99 million. Ja Morant.
Okay, Indiana is in the tank fest, so kind of have to lay the 13 points. Charlotte is just doing Charlotte things. Like, they're just covering numbers and bombing threes and having a grand old time. So I don't see why not. Another one to look at that, like, I just didn't pull the trigger on because it seemed like kind of too good to be true. But Washington is at Atlanta again. They played just the other night. And I was listening to that game on the radio while I was at my son's soccer practice. That was like a 40-point game in the first half. Like, not an exaggeration. I think Atlanta was up like 30 points at halftime or something like that. Like, it was not competitive even a little bit. So this number is only 9 for Atlanta. I just don't see how it's going to be any different tonight facing a Washington team that has no interest in competing on any level at all.
The best is when you trade for Anthony Davis and immediately say he's out for the rest of the year. When you trade for Trae Young, he's out the rest of the year. It's like they don't even want to have a chance they might win some games with them. Like, if they got back at the end of the year, you're both out rest of the year. I don't care what you say, you're out rest of the year.
Here's where
By the way, Michael, I have to answer this if I'm going to be quoted in the comments. Sam Darnold is still a loser, okay? I'm happy for him. He won me money in the Super Bowl. He cashed a lot of tickets. He's got that Super Bowl ring. But you got a lot of schlub-ass quarterbacks that won Super Bowl. Eli Manning won 2 of them, and that guy is a chump-ass.
Eli Manning's the greatest.
He's way more talented.
He's the greatest man ever alive.
Clint Kubiak's gone. We're going to find out something about Sam Darnold again next year. So let's just slow down on Sam Darnold not being a loser.
All he does is win the Super Bowl. That's all he does.
Brad Johnson won the Super Bowl. Like, Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl.
Hey, hold on real quick. On that, back to Charlotte's Pacer game, damn it. I took Charlotte team total over 121.5 because I don't think Charlotte cannot not score. I don't think the Pacers play any defense. So, and I didn't want to lay the double digits. So that's the route I went because
what happens though?
Indiana doesn't stop anybody from scoring.
Here's the what if in blowouts. If you're up 35, which is very possible, the way Charlotte's playing and the way Indiana's not playing anybody, and they get up big and they put in the backups and they score like 14 points in the fourth quarter. That's what worries me on the team total over there is that it's going to be a lopsided.
The Pacers in their last 3 games have led up 135 to Philly, 134 to Dallas, 131 to Washington, 112 to Washington in back-to-back nights, and in losses. And then 110, whatever.
What's Charlotte's team total?
121.5.
Yeah.
It's right there. Hold your nose. But I'm
with you. But like I said, I'm okay laying the points here too.
Yeah, I would rather lay the points.
Here's the thing. Indiana was playing well before the All-Star break.
1-2
They
games.
were covering the numbers. They were starting to beat some teams or whatever. They were a team that I had circled that I was like, okay, like
Maybe.
they're way undervalued right now compared to how they're playing versus what their numbers were. Obviously, they had a little talk behind the scenes during the All-Star break where they're like, look, we lose the protection on this pick if it finishes between like 5 and 8. We have to guarantee that we have one of the 4 or 5 best records because they haven't even been close. So I have no problem laying. I would take the team total over and I would lay the points. And somebody said the line telling you the Wizards, like the Atlanta's going to rest Jalen Johnson. He left in the first half of that game the other day on Tuesday. Doesn't matter though. Like Jalen Johnson didn't matter at all in that game. He left, I want to say, early in the second quarter, and they still blew them out. Like, no, the line is not telling me the Wizards. No line is telling me Wizards. They should be getting like 17 points in pretty much every game that they play.
I mean, Indiana, if you add one of these great freshmen, I don't know which one they're going to go after, because I originally thought they were going to go after Boozer because they needed a big guy. Well, then they go get Zubac. Now I'm like, well, you don't need a big guy. And they let Mathurin go to get him. So I'm like, okay, maybe they need another wing. But I don't know if you want Peterson there. It's like, I don't know about that kid.
I wouldn't want Peterson at all.
Somebody's going to either get a big bust or a big steal because I don't think he's going to go number one because of what he's done. So if you get him, he's clearly the best player when he wants to play. I just don't understand. Whoever's telling him to set out, because there's obviously somebody in his ear going this, like they gave him some really bad advice.
I don't know. I actually think that they're telling him to sit out because it's already been kind of said that he is going to go number one, or that he.
Why play at all? I don't understand why you check yourself out. Like, you scored 21 points and a half.
That was kind of the Kyrie Irving thing too, right? Like he wasn't going to go to college, and then he did, and then he played, and then he was like, all right, I'm out.
We got injured. Then remember he came back 2 games for the tournament and played really good then and played pretty good in the tournament game even though they lost. I don't understand. To me, this is a kid that should have went play in the G League. Like if you don't want to play, go play in the G League and just because that's.
I think he did want to play, but then I think he did get some soft tissue injuries early on in the season, and then it was like, we're just going to do better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
But I will say this: if Kansas gets him to play full go, they can win it all. They've beat Iowa State and Arizona. They beat Arizona without him, by the way. Now that was at Kansas where they, very tough place to play. But still, he's that good. He is.
Yeah, he's a dude. He's a dude. I'm not saying he's not a dude, but like their chemistry is just kind of off.
I love the Council kid. That Council kid is just like I thought that was like, when kids transfer up like that, at some point you might go too much over your level, you know what I mean? That has not been a problem. He can score. He can score against anybody, and he's a dog on defense. Like I don't know. They could be first round.
I love Badunga. The guy on that team. I love Badunga. Like he's just a beast. He's the one that when Peterson went out, he was like,
that game against
my
Arizona.
team, I'm taking over. Like that guy's an animal. So
yeah, this is going to be a first round loss Kansas team or a team that gets to the Final Four, and everybody's like, damn, this team is so good. So we'll see. I don't think there'll be an in between type team.
I like the Lakers tonight, by the way. For those of you that are still interested.
Hold on a second. Let me give you some holy water, because if you're betting the Lakers,
listen, everybody knows how I feel about the Lakers. Everybody knows how I feel about Luka Doncic. Okay, like
why?
I hate to keep being right about him, but like, sorry that like he sucks, and that's the deal. However, Phoenix is just that bad. Like, it's one thing to play with. Phoenix has been so far above and beyond what expectations were this year, right? And it's one thing to continue to kind of play competitive basketball without Devin Booker, who's awesome. But you lose Dylan Brooks, dude. Dylan Brooks is another one of those guys. That guy can play on my team any day of the week. That guy is just a dog. But, like, their heart just got ripped. Oh, my God. Their heart just got ripped out of them. They haven't even been competitive in the 2 games that he has been.
They've scored like 70 and 80, right?
Oh my God, it's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah.
And I do think Booker's going to be back here in the next week, but Brooks is going to be out for a little while. I think he's got a broken hand, right?
He is. He's probably done. He is probably done for the year. for them. By the time he's the type of guy that he could come back maybe with a week left and nothing to play for in the regular season, and he'll play just because he wants to play. But I think it's pretty obvious that like losing Brooks to that team is a bigger loss than losing Booker, even though Booker's a better player. Like nobody would say that Brooks is better, but just in terms of like what he does, they're just a completely different team without Devin Brooks. You got the Lakers off back-to-back losses, kind of a fluky loss against Orlando. I just think Phoenix is this bad that I will even bet the Lakers, who suck, against them. So
I got a teaser with the under in the Lakers, Sun, and Dallas, the Mavericks. Okay. I tease that down to like 2, I think it is, or 2, whatever. Yeah, Orlando. I like that. I like the Mavericks tonight. I like the under in the Lakers.
Mavericks?
They can't score. I like the Mavericks tonight.
They're missing 4 of their top 5.
I don't know. Exactly.
That's another.
Robert told me not to look at the injury report.
That's true.
At some point, when you lose,
he told me don't do it.
That's true. No, you're 100% right.
And the problem with that game, 27 on the road, they're coming off a back-to-back. I mean, the Mavericks are just sitting around with their thumb up their ass waiting for the Sacramento.
There's another guy whose opinion I respect who's not having a very good year, who likes Dallas. The problem with that game, Lenny, though, is you have 2 tankers. Yeah. Like both teams are flayed. You know what I mean? Like we listed like the 8 teams that there's absolutely no doubt that they're tanking. These are 2 of them. So when you get 2 tanking teams together, like I'm sorry, there's no way.
It's Dallas -2.
I will say this.
It doesn't matter. They're trying to lose games.
I'm just saying they accidentally win that game.
Najee Harris is a dog. Najee Harris went to Xavier. I hate Xavier. But this dude has made himself a very good
Najee Marshall.
Najee Marshall, yeah. And I think he's going to have a near triple-double tonight because nobody else is playing. He's going to get – he does take tons of shots. He's like a stat – he's kind of like Russell Westbrook where he's a stat stuffer. He's going after every
pad stat.
He just like you said, he just plays hard. He doesn't care if the organization is tanking. Like
they might be telling him to lose. They better take him out because if not, this guy's going to be diving up so much.
Indy. They just beat Brooklyn.
This is the 2 other tanking teams. Yes,
I know they beat them, but they beat them by 4 points. They beat them by 9 points. I got to cover 2.
I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're. Okay, but let me flip it to you on the other way. You could have had Sacramento +12. Do you think Dallas blows them out? Do you think that they win by 17 tonight? No. Right? Like, look. The bottom line is, over the next 6 weeks, anytime you have a game like this with 2 teams that are flagrantly tanking, like if Washington plays Brooklyn or something like that,
right?
Just throw it out. Just instantly throw that game out, and don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna.
You were gonna be all about it.
You can't outsmart the tank, bro. You got to respect the tank.
Listen, let's talk a little NHL before we get out of here. Just a little bit. I know you don't have nothing, Robert, in the NHL.
Yes, the Penguins. No, yes, the Penguins. Yes, the Penguins. The Devils suck. And when a team loses its star player, I'm
on the Penguins in regulation, and I think it's yeah.
Don't you think that injury's going to have maybe not right away though? Don't you think that team? He's just their heart and soul, leading. Crosby.
They're going to be terrible in March, 100%. But one game, one time, just rally without rally around the fallen leader and against New Jersey, hell yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work last night. Vegas didn't have any of their starters, and they won last night. So it's
exactly.
What?
And I'll be honest with you, Devils on a back-to-back.
Yeah,
coming off a 3-week break, and now you got to play back-to-back.
I actually think it's a positive.
I think Jack Hughes is still drunk. So there's that.
Teams that played back-to-back, though, versus a team that hasn't played, it's been off for 3 weeks, I actually think it might be a positive tonight. Now, not in the regular, 2 weeks from now, that's not the case. But, because you've been off so long, you are going to be rusty.
Yeah.
No, more teams are rusty. I also thought the under tonight in that game because I don't think there'll be lots of goals in that game. I think.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot either.
I have St. Louis favored.
Yeah, listen. St. Louis? Hold on, Scott.
They're
I stayed away. I did not. I don't think I have anything in that. The Kraken. Well, Kraken just played last night against the Kings, I think, right?
No one's talking about the hottest team in the league.
The Kraken just played the Blue Jackets. Dallas and lost. The Kraken just played
Tampa
at
Bay.
Dallas.
You mean Tampa Bay, who's paying out that underdog money tonight?
How about the Blue Jackets, though? Before the break, they fired their coach, won, 10 out of the last 12 games after firing their coach?
Yeah, they're on a roll. I'd be careful with the
I wouldn't
Bruins
want to take
tonight.
that break. They probably were like, dude, let's play somebody in the parking lot.
Some of these games in the NHL, you just know who these teams are. Doesn't matter. Rest. That shit doesn't matter for 3 weeks. They're not going to be any different. Some of these teams, I don't know who they are yet. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't know who they are yet coming out of this break because they were on fire. And then that 3-week break could kill them. They might pick up right where they left off. I want to be on Boston. I didn't.
This is the worst thing for coaches, though, that you fire a coach and they win 10 of the next 12 games, because now every owner's like, dude, we just need to fire our coach and everything will be fixed. It's like, dude, that is a miracle. Miracle what they did.
Can't money line parlay those 5. I mean, listen, you could probably do it and I'll probably win or whatever, but like everybody just trust the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What gives you any inclination that you could trust the Toronto Maple Leafs, Scott? Did you see what they just lost? They just got embarrassed by the Tampa Bay Lightning yesterday. I'm sorry. The Toronto Maple Leafs need every win they can get. Keep in mind, this break, we talked about this the other day, Craig. This NHL break is not in the middle of the season. 65-70% of the NHL season is over. So there is no halftime adjustments. There's no second half of the season. We're in playoff.
Really old team, though. Don't you think? We don't know because we've never really seen this happen. To have this long off versus a veteran, very old team in Florida, there'll be more rust, I think, there than. And I think Toronto playing yesterday is a positive. I do think they will keep it close. Now, are they good enough to win?
I don't know.
I think Tampa Bay is a good test of your theory, Craig.
Yeah, it'll be a very good test if they.
Carolina did not play yesterday.
Right.
Tampa Bay did. And at this point, because I kind of jotted down Toronto yesterday because that money line was so high or whatever. I just kind of jotted it down and then didn't play. And I'm glad I didn't. It's almost like, why aren't we just betting Tampa Bay goal line every game now? They are 20-2 in their last 22 games.
Right.
20-2. They've been destroying people for like 2 months now, and they obviously didn't slow down from the break because that game against Toronto was really never close yesterday either. So
I thought they might be favored tonight, to be very honest.
I agree with you. I agree. Like, so to your point, we're getting them with value. They've already knocked the rust off against a team that hasn't played yet. Kind of have to.
Now Carolina been playing good before the break, but I just think 3 weeks off. I'm telling you, I don't think that maintains. It's just hard. It's hard. Robert was right. I said no plays last night, no plays tonight, no plays tomorrow night in the NHL.
I had a good yesterday, but that doesn't mean I like a lot today. I would think today is trickier than yesterday, to be honest with you. In a lot of ways in the NHL.
Like now, because half the teams have played and half of them haven't. And a lot of times
right. And it's a little tricky. So, I mean, you can, I don't like back-to-backs, but, Craig's theory holds water for sure. I think
we'll see if it holds water.
We'll see. Right.
Yeah, we'll see. Let me rephrase. We'll see. But I think there are some spots for totals. I want to watch. I mean, I know my Red Wings play tonight, which they're a live dog, by the way. But I want to watch the Wild and the Avalanche play hockey because that's playoff hockey waiting to happen. I'm just telling you, it's just fast forward to the playoffs. That's a playoff series. In a 7-game series, the Avs win that, but they don't win it as easily as everybody else does.
I like the
Oilers and the Kings. Just take the over. Kings suck at home. Take the Oilers in regulation.
The
Oilers won last night, and then the Kings lost to Vegas last night. So,
didn't Edmonton lose last night?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they lost. It was
the
4-4
Ducks won.
Yes, the Ducks won. Anaheim. Because I said yesterday in my video, I think Anaheim's going to make the playoffs, and people thought I was nuts. I just think they're going to find a way to sneak in.
Listen, I'm on the Oilers in regulation at plus 150. I am.
Gross.
The Kings suck at home.
Gross. I just make sense. And they lost their forward who got hurt in the Olympics. Like I'm with you. Like I don't like the Kings mojo right now. There is no way I'm betting on the Oilers to do anything positive. Like again, like they got outscored 4-1 in the third period of that game to blow that. Like they're just so shaky. The Oilers are just so shaky as hell. There's way more money to be made betting against Edmonton than there is betting on them. I think everybody just keeps waiting for that run. They just keep waiting for things to click for Edmonton and for them to be that team that they were last year in the postseason. I don't think it's coming. Like, I just think that they're just going to flip and flop and win 2 in a row and then lose 3 in a row and, lose as a minus 240 favorite and, then beat Colorado. They're just going to be a shaky as hell team the rest of the way. So just don't play that game. You want my advice, Phil Hill, Oilers, Kings, there's way better games to play that we've already talked about.
I like the over. I think both teams can score. I don't think anybody's stopping.
Do we have backup goalies tonight there?
Backup goalies where?
In that game, because they both played last night.
The Kings, yeah.
When I looked at it last night, they hadn't announced the goalies, of course, because they were still playing.
I haven't looked at that yet. That's what I hate about the NHL is because I gotta wait till after. I really gotta confirm either right before the show or right after who's actually in net because shit really does matter.
Yeah, the West Coast games are
the West Coast games are a problem, but the Minnesota Wild. I'm just gonna tell you, you can fact check me if you want, but I'm pretty sure they're if not the most. But the top 3 team that has went into overtime in the NHL this year. So I'm not. I want to say they're the most, but I will definitely say they're top 3. In Colorado, they've already went into overtime with the Wild 3-2 earlier this year. I'm just saying tonight might be a night where you just pizza money a couple draws, bet the Red Wings. That's it.
Listen to Robert and I. Don't play anything for the next couple of days of the NHL. If you do, it's all pizza money parlays just for fun because I'm telling you, you're going to see some wacky stuff the first 3-4 games just because we've never seen this. These guys have never in their lifetime, for the most of them, played in the Olympics, had 3 weeks off, or just not played. You didn't make the Olympic team and you're off for 3 weeks. It's like this is it's almost like restarting the season after a strike or something. So, although they did practice these teams instead of a strike.
Got thoughts on the Jazz team total over 118?
I like it.
There you go.
I like it.
Is Markkanen playing?
You got those star players out.
Yeah, without George Markkanen, both out. Both are out tonight.
I think that's going to be an up and down game. Just in
I'm
general.
I'm going to find them a half.
Neither one of those teams really care about anything. The total's 244. Yep. If you're going to make a mistake in that one, expect too much scoring. Yeah.
Well, if you find a team, they find them $500,000 for sitting their starters 3 games in a row in the fourth quarter. Healthy starters, by the way, that played the first 3 quarters and they just didn't play them. They won some of those games. They still find them. Yet now you don't play Markkanen and George when they're day to day every day. It's this is suspicious as hell. I'm just saying. Set them out for the rest of the year and say they have a foot injury. Just say they're out for us.
Look, you know how it is, Craig. We have to just have to accept the reality the way it is, not the way we want it with these tanking teams. Like you said,
don't look at the injury report.
We talked about them today. Don't look at the injury report 100%. But we talked about it. We laid out the 8 teams, the 3 in the East and the 5 in the West that are obviously tanking. It's very, very simple. Either just bet against those teams. Okay, tonight, we like Charlotte, we like Atlanta, just bet against those teams, or if they're playing each other, or if you don't want to lay, double digits every night with a road team, just don't play them at all. That's it. That's how you do it. Don't overthink it. Don't deep dive into who's playing, that's it. You got 8 teams who are not trying to win.
Or we just
lean into that.
Well, listen, I'm going to put an 8-team money line parlay in against those teams every night for the rest of the year. $5 parlay.
Or just
we'll see how much money we end up with at the end of the year.
Put all your money on Michigan State, Lenny. That's your team.
All right, that's your team. Listen, calm down. Go green, go white all day, all night. Craig, what do you got going on at the site tonight? Let's get on.
Nothing huge tonight. I do have a 7-unit play in the NBA tomorrow that I really like coming up. I potentially, if the line comes out where I think, I'm going to have an 8-unit college basketball. I haven't had an 8-unit since September in any sport. So I should have had last weekend. I had Cal against Stanford. I love Cal. I played it as a 6 or 7 unit, and I was like, damn, I was the one that should have made the 8 unit. But, rivalry games scared me. That was the only reason I didn't, was the one thing. Every other thing made no sense why they weren't going to win by double digits.
Robert, what about you?
I actually hit my NBA game of the year last night.
Denver. Good job.
With Denver. With that one. Small tonight, small tomorrow. I will have an 8-unit game. Soccer game of the year out of the MLS. I don't release weekly soccer. I don't have the brain power to handle like international soccer on top of all the sports that we do.
Right.
All the
That's
time.
so many hours in the day.
I normally just save it for the tournaments, but I watched a lot of MLS last weekend with my son, picked up some tips and tidbits, and there's one game that I think is going to be a goddamn bloodbath on Saturday. So I will have a rare 8-unit domestic league soccer game of the year on Saturday. So that'll be my big play.
There you go. All right,
Lenny,
guys, don't forget.
Hold on a second. Lenny, what do you have? That's what we want to know.
That's what everybody wants to know. That's what I
Right.
can.
Oh, I got I told you guys, I got Wichita State tonight.
No. I mean, like, what do you got going on? You got they got to go picture your video the premium level.
I haven't even put the video out yet, so I'm lazy on that. I mean, it'll be out within the next half hour.
Yeah, we just gave you a lot of picks to choose from.
I usually give out like 3 college basketball at a full slate like this. I'll give out 3 NHL. I'll give out 3 college basketball. I don't do a lot in the NBA, so if you're looking for NBA, I'm not the guy. Today I got a teaser. That's about it. That's usually the daily rundown is my 3 NHL plays that I like, maybe 1 or 2 teaser or 1 or 2 like draws or a parlay that I like, and then a couple college basketball. But
I got 17 plays.
I went 7-1 yesterday, so you got 8 plays yesterday out of me.
But
you got
you
5
get it.
college
Let me
basketball,
help.
3 NHL.
Let me help Lenny. You get it.
Creighton was the only one. Creighton was the only one let me down. Otherwise, Creighton comes through for us and we get out the brooms.
That was a good pick too.
But you gotta click the link in the description. It's $5, Lenny, right? $5 is
yeah,
your
$5. You can't get a foot long for $5 no more.
That's $5
like
for a month. A month of Lenny for $5. Click the link here for you.
I make my wife pay more. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck unless you're against this. We'll see you guys tomorrow.